Hey guys, I'm sitting here editing this video and I just want to come on here and add a few things. I want to clarify that there's a few things that I feel like I should have added or maybe I've misspoken, but we're going to leave it at that. This is a situation I not want only rectified and have everyone paid out, but I want to move on from this. I want to continue to grow as a content creator, as a better, and this is a situation that although I want everybody to be paid, I also want the situation to be put past us and we can move on from there. So if you get anybody feels like I misspoke or I missed anything like that, feel free to DM me. I'm happy to talk about it. But for this video itself, it's breaking down to 3 parts. I have the Lock the Night addressment, I have my personal performance in the Lock the Night challenge, as well as what the future holds for me as Gordo gambles on here on YouTube and on the Twitter sphere and stuff like that. So I hope that you guys enjoy the video. Just feel like I come out there and reiterate my stance on this. Hope everybody gets paid and hope everybody has a great 2023. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Plays and Fades YouTube channel. I'm your host, Gordo Gambles, and welcome back to, let's call this my 2022 betting recap. Not necessarily what I anticipated doing. I know there's been a lot of bumps in the road and we'll get to that, but for those who've been following me for a while, I just gotta say, we did it. If you are off of Twitter, if you're not aware, we finally won that contest. I've been talking about it for months. The Lock the Night play, the one that I was really looking forward to every time I put on these glasses, you know, hyped up, talking about the ability to win all this money. We did win it. Now, this is where I have to address something. This is where I kind of want to make this short and sweet. I've been very careful with how I've been saying things recently, how I've been really trying to portray myself online, because I do know there are a lot of eyes on me. I know that I'm the guy who is owed the most money, and I think that's really where I got to start is, if you are completely unaware of the situation, the runner of the contest has unfortunately not paid out everybody in this contest, and it has come to light that many people, up to I think 22, 23 people have not been paid out from this guy who he still owes money to. Now, whether he be in the current course of paying back people, whether he be have some personal issues going on, the main thing remained clear is what he did is defenseless. You cannot defend his actions. You cannot defend what he did, whether it being lying to people, whether it being withholding their funds for a long amount of time. Certain people up to June, he's been not paying them from, but whatever he's done is defenseless. And I not only am saddened by it for myself, someone who is owed money, but there are 20 people out there, over 20 people who are owed lots and lots of money, over $30,000. And I really think that me being quiet wasn't me defending him, but me more so trying to collect all the information that I needed to. I was on vacation when all this really went down. I was really blind to the fact, because this guy was my friend, right, as well. So this is something that I've been really careful about what I'm saying, and now that it's finally nearing its end with him paying certain people back, I just wanted to come out here and say that this was something that I did not defend and I did not condone. I really commend all the people who were able to have the courage to out him for it and help me in this situation, because I was lost for words most of this time. I didn't want to assume things, and I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, and that kind of blew up in my face because there were certain things that went down that I did not see coming. So I sit here calm, owed 12.6 American, a lot of money that is going to go towards my tuition. You guys know that I am a student here, and this was money I was really looking forward to having, and something that I was really excited to be winning throughout the whole season. And this is not the way I wanted to start the video. So as I close out what I really wanted to say on the matter, I want to say thank you to everybody online, everybody on Twitter who has supported me, send me some kind words, some kind messages, and even helped me towards my tuition fund. You guys will never be forgotten. I appreciate you very much. And to everybody else who is still owed money, I'm not going anywhere. Even though I have been quiet, I want to make sure that everybody gets paid. We all worked very hard for it. I'd like to personally just thank you not only to the people in the contest with me, but everybody else who worked their ass off for the entire year who has owed this money. I hope we all get it, and I'll be trying my best to make sure we do. Now, with that out of the way, I've been really thinking about this video for a long time. I mean, even starting in September when I was ahead in first place, I was thinking this would be a great video to do. Kick off the year 2023 on the Plays and Fades YouTube channel. Let's talk about what I've learned. Let's talk about how I really attacked this challenge, because I had some success doing so. 2022 was one of my most profitable years, and I feel like I've not only grown as a person, but also as a bettor and a MMA capper. And I do think that this is something that I could really share with you guys. Hopefully you guys make some more money in the process as well. Now, of course, I want to make this video with cheers and confetti and everything, celebrating my wins, but it has a little bit of gloom on it, but we're going to try to look past that. For everybody who wanted their sound bites, who wanted to know my thoughts on that, that's in the past. Now we're going to talk about my personal performance and what I learned from it, and seeing how this is going to transfer over to my MMA capping in the new year. Now let's look at the contest. Throughout the entire year, there were 42 events. Yes, 42 UFC events. I put in a bet for each one of those 42 events, and I finished out 35, 6, and 1. Yes, on my picks, I had 35 wins, 6 losses, And then I had the push that was the Derek Lewis main event. That fight never happened. Therefore, I did not get any points for it. But that led us up with 96.62 units and a 47% ROI. I am extremely, extremely happy and really proud of my performance over the past year, because it's not very often you're able to see such success, especially nearing that triple-digit score in the profit column. But and to maintain that over the entire year over 42 units is something that I'm really proud of, and I hope I can keep that going into the new year. But how did that really happen? I mean, I don't think it was all sunshine and rainbows, because at the start I started off really cold. I mean, I started off 4-3. It wasn't exactly a perfect start, but I hit a roll. I went 25-1 over a 26-week period. I really hit my stride, and that's when I really started to establish myself in the lead. There are many great competitors in this contest, from people like Chick, people like Rainman, people like Dan from Best Fight Picks. A lot of these people who are able to keep pushing me towards being a better capper and really figuring out how I wanted to attack this week in and week out. As we neared the end of the competition and I had a 15-20 unit lead over the people in the second place, third place, I really changed my strategy. I went away from my, plus money to minus 150 range, and I really started attacking these minus 200s to try to solidify my lead. Now, as they were my lock of the nights, I can defend that, but they weren't the plays I would usually play in this type of competition. They were chalky, they were a bit safer, and that's kind of why my ROI is the way it is. That's just how I was playing the contest. I wanted to win, I wanted to get this money in my pocket, and it wasn't really about making the plays I thought were my lock of the nights that I usually would play. It was about what is going to get me to finish in first place. And that's why at the end, I know I played my Oleg Jacek and Brundage fight doesn't go to decision minus 270. I played my Holland and Thompson over 1.5 round at minus 260. These were safe plays in my mind that could take me to the finish line. I did not really need to go out there and take plus money plays. I didn't have to be risky. I need to hit my plays, and I need to keep that money coming in. But that's not always how it was. There was a certain point where I was in 6th, 7th, 8th place, really trying to fight my way up. And my style really stayed the same until that 5th, 6th week before it ended there. Really the first 35 events I kept that same strategy. And there's two ways I could attack it. I either found a moneyline play I really liked from one side, where I saw the guy having multiple advantages and winning at a super, super high rate. Not necessarily looking at the odds, but more so a guy who I saw winning this fight with a clear path to victory and him having the right mindset to do it. These are plays like Kyle Borralho that I took twice, a guy who I thought had not only the right mentality, but a perfect game script to go out there and execute his game plan without really having to worry about the risk. I knew he was smart enough to go through with it. Same thing with Tabatha Ricci at minus 125. I mean, she was also someone who had the right skill set, the right mentality, and was able to execute down the long run. Now, it all isn't perfect. I think that it's commonly known that my worst lock of the night play of the entire year was Dontel Mays, and that was one where I tried to play the odds, but after I did make that mistake, I was able to stick towards my game plan. And the second option that I kept, and the one play you see me doing the most often, is I'm a violence kind of guy. I'm a guy who likes to go out there, find these fights I can see finishing at a very, very high clip, and attacking them from a betting perspective. In fact, 29 of my 42 plays were unders. Not all of them hit. I mean, we had Porter Badeau go over, we had Smith Klein go over, we had McMahon and Rosa go over. They weren't all perfect plays, but this is where I thought I had the best success capping. I mean, I found a line that I thought was inaccurate, a line that I thought was maybe there was a better chance of this finishing, and I really realized that this was my style. I take two guys who are finishers, two guys who have a good path to victory, and I attack that. My favorite ones of the sort, Liang Na versus Silvana Gomez Suarez, taking the under there. The under in the Riddell Turner fight. All these fights where you have people with multiple paths to victory. The under in the Stum Motajeri fight. The under in the Pierce Americani fight. A fight where you have two guys who both have opportunities to finish at any time and have the willingness to do so. That is really where I found my bread and butter. And I think that's really one of the most important things I'm learning over this time, is you have to find that niche that you find yourself being comfortable in and really attacking it from that way. I think one of the most important parts of betting on fights is knowing your strengths and weaknesses. And I can tell you for a fact right now, look at my Bet MMA tips, I am not the best dog hunter, and I'm fully aware with that. I think that's been a big downfall of mine. That's something I can work towards, but where I've had the most success is finding these totals that I think are inaccurately lined and really attacking them. And that is something I think that I need to stick with in 2023, is finding these areas that I'm, having more success in, that I find myself winning more money on, and really continuing to stay in that niche. But back to this contest, it was something where you played one bet a week for every single week of the year, and I ended up 96 units. I'll tell you for a fact right now, in my betting year in 2022, I did not end up 96 units. I, in fact, ended up 77.7 units, and that is almost 20 units lesser than I won in this challenge. What does that tell you? Well, the most important thing that I've learned over the course of the year is you have to be careful and you have to pick your spots. Throughout the year, I was really chasing bets, or I was trying to get action down that I didn't really necessarily think I had the right edge on, but I wanted to. And I think that's really where I lost a lot of my money is in this challenge where I only had one play, I was a lot more profitable. I mean, I had 47% ROI here, whereas I'm going over and I'm attacking all these bets. I'm having more risk, but also more upside. And I think I only had a 12% ROI when I'm attacking all these bets. In 2023, my main goal is to cut down the number of bets and really be confident in the plays I'm putting out there. There's no need for you to go out there and have action down on every single fight. There's no need for you to go out there and really chase bets that you think might have value to it. You need to be confident in them. There's fights really almost every week of the year, and you need to be sure you're going into these fights with bets on them that you really truly think are going to make you money in the long run. Again, it's a long-term game. You want to be careful to pick your spots and win money appropriately. Now, one last thing I pulled from this UFC betting contest, I'm not even going to give it a name, is find your trends. For me, my trends were I always look for violence in the very, very first fight of the night because I truly think that the UFC wants to bring in these viewers with a highlight reel, knockout, or submission, and I think that that's really where you find a lot of the finishes happening. I took that play a lot. I mean, I took the under in the Torres Camacho, that cashed in the first round. De Silva and Altamirano was the very first fight as well, also cashed in the first round. Van Camp and Mata, also a fight that finished the first round that took the under on. All these fights are bouts that were the very, very first one of the card, and I've realized that a lot of these times, these fighters aren't as talented, but they're put in this very first slot because they have finishing potential to bring these viewer in. That's just personally an observation that I made. Find your own observations, find these trends, and really look to see if you have an edge over the market where people don't. Now, with that out of the way, where does that leave me in 2023? Well, this contest is no longer run. I think you guys know why, but how am I going to give out a lock of the night play? I mean, I got great success to all the new viewers out there. Maybe you guys learned to me through this challenge, so I kind of want to keep something like this going. So every single week on my Twitter, @GamblesGordo, I will be posting my one favorite play of the entire week. We're not going to call it the lock of the night. Let's call it, you know what, a name to be decided. But I will be posting my favorite play of the entire week, and we're going to see if we can get triple digits this year in lock of the night format. In terms of my other content, a big thing I wanted to push out there was the UFC Ironman. I ran it last year. I had no PayPal issues doing so. My kitchen did not need renovations. We paid out everybody within the first 90 minutes of me being back on vacation. That contest was super fun. I didn't keep my crown. I think I finished 5th place it was. Yep, 5th place. Congratulations to Filthy Frankster and Gocho Loco for taking home the very, very top prize. And I'm looking to reclaim my crown this year, but I would like all of you guys to see if you guys want to join. $100 buy-in. You compete, make a lineup for every single UFC lineup, trying to beat other great people in this industry and really try to take home a pretty fun prize pool. More competitors, bigger the prize pool. I urge you guys to join it with me. Try to take my money, try to take the crown of Filthy Frankster and Gocho Loco because I am gunning for the top this year. But on this channel, what do I have going forward? Well, most importantly, UFC breakdowns. Not only am I going to have the DFS breakdowns weekly, but I'm going to try to incorporate some betting rounds of it as well. That way you guys are able to see my thoughts on it from a draft perspective and a betting perspective. Where you can find my weekly betting and DFS content, though, aside from this channel, let's call it a premium breakdown, is I'm happy to announce that I'm be signing with DailyFanMMA. I'll be working with Brett Apley and working towards putting my content out there through a DFS optimizer, through some lineup projections, through some fight breakdowns and projections, both written and podcast style. That is where you can find me talking all the time. I'll link that down in the bio if you have any questions. DM me on Twitter about that. That leaves me with a single video breakdown weekly on this channel. Weekly, both written breakdowns and podcast style breakdowns on DailyFanMMA, as well as the usual Wednesday video at the Pub Sport Radio team. Of course, I'll always be active on Twitter. Feel free to DM me there. So follow me there on Twitter @GamblesGordo. Always open to conversation, so DMs are open. Other than that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully everyone who is owed by a lock of the night will be paid out shortly. And hopefully you guys gain some insight to my betting style in 2023. With that, guys, hit the like button down below and let's make some money.